All right. Let's see. Ew, I don't like that voice. All right. So we're here with Eileen Souza. She is a recent graduate of the MALM program. Actually, she's part of the first cohort of MALM graduates. And welcome, Eileen.
Hi, thank you.
And so can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I was unprepared for that question. Gosh.
Sorry.
No, you're
Seems
fine.
like
You're
a
fine.
typical first question.
Right. Yeah, I should have been prepared. So my name is Eileen Souza. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm originally from Boston. I have spent the last 20 years working with a Fortune 10 company in technology as a project manager and senior manager of data analytics. So just graduated, very excited and happy to be able to share my experiences with other students.
Nice. And we're going to talk about your trip that you
Yes.
took last semester.
Mhm.
It was to Bogota, Colombia.
Mhm.
And so where did why Bogota?
So I really wanted to participate in the field study program. And for the first cohort, we were still working out some of the kinks, and it wasn't necessarily a requirement, but it was an option. And so I reached out to my advisor and said, hey, I'd really love to participate in a program. And they said, well, we're going to have to cancel the Bogota trip unless we get another person. So do you want to go to that one? I said, sure, let's do it. The location wasn't as important as the experience for me.
Right. So take me kind of through the activities and the meetings and other things that you encountered on your trip.
Sure. So my trip was a 1-week field visit. It was in Bogota alone, so we were only in Bogota. It was with a group of about 20 other students, and we went to, with the exception of one company, the top 20 companies, multinationals in Colombia, are all based in Bogota. We would visit 3 or 4 locations a day. So it was very, very quick. We had a lot of visits, but it was astonishing to learn. The Colombian people were very open. They talked a lot about, some of their challenges historically and currently. They were also very open about opportunities in LATAM and other parts of the world and how they were trying to handle the Colombian environment. So the business environment, the economy is not large enough to really support a strong multinational. And so there were different ways that each company decided to handle that, whether it was moving into other countries or, trying to build their business and be more diverse. And so it was really fascinating to see all of these different types of companies and how they worked in the Colombian environment.
Nice. And who was the lead professor on the trip?
Dr. Nelson, who was amazing.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
And so what was the best part? What did you think was the highlight?
It's interesting. The highlight for me was getting a better understanding of the LATAM region and the people specifically. I didn't realize that there was such a regionalism, that they really felt such a connection to some of their neighboring countries. It wasn't as nationalistic as I would have expected. And then long term, some of the contacts that I made have been amazing. I still interact with my Bogota colleagues every day. So it was a great trip.
Nice. Yeah, that was definitely the next question was,
Yeah.
how was it traveling with other T-birds?
Yeah, I mean, it was great, especially as part of the MALM program. You don't have as much of an opportunity to really interact with your colleagues. So, if you're in a group, in a class session, you may be able to talk to someone, but this was several days with other people who have the same kind of goals and the same excitement about other countries and other cultures and have been all over the world. And so you get to learn about their experiences. And it was really, really special to get to interact with those people.
And so logistically speaking, like what was the setup like? Were you in a single occupancy
Yes.
room? And, how was like the tours or like the scheduling? How was that?
Yeah, so it was a single occupancy room in a very nice hotel in a very nice part of town. I'm sure there are some people who are worried about security in a place like Colombia. It was fantastic. Everyone was incredibly helpful and accommodating. The schedule was, again, it was packed. I mean, we were starting every day at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and finishing up 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. But then we would have optional dinners together, where we would really get to know each other. One of the challenges is that the traffic in Bogota is really bad. Like it's one of the worst in the world. And so going from site to site really took a lot of planning on the part of our advisors, but they did a great job making sure that we weren't crossing the city multiple times a day.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about cost, because I know
Sure.
that that's going to be a question that everybody's talking about.
Mhm.
In a sense, do you think it's worth it when it
Absolutely.
comes to going for that 1 week?
Yeah.
And what were, like if you have a general, I don't know, price?
Sure, sure. Yeah. So again, I was coming at it from I was the only MALM student, so it was a little bit different for me than everyone else. But the fee I think was $3,500, and that was basically all inclusive. The other thing is that Colombian businesses feed you every time you sit down, so we got like 6 or 7 meals a day, which was great. Right? It was awesome. My flight was $900 that I paid, and then I think there was an $1,100 fee that I had to pay because I wasn't part of the program. So, but
Right.
for me, it was absolutely worthwhile. It's one of the best trips I've ever been on.
Wow. And so you have, did you have to do like anything like get vaccinations or
I
like
did. I did.
preparation?
Yeah, I had to get like 9 shots.
I bet. Yeah,
Right,
when I went to
yeah,
Panama,
and
same thing.
the only one that was a challenge was yellow fever. So if any of the students are going to be going to a location that requires a yellow fever shot, there's a problem with the U.S. manufacturing. So there are only shots that came from France, and they're really, really hard to find. So that took a little bit of time, but other than that, it was pretty easy. The ASU Health Center took care of everything.
Oh, great, great, awesome. And so did you take time to explore on your own either after the trip or during the trip?
I during the trip a little bit, and we went with colleagues. Just seeing downtown Bogota and going to restaurants and seeing some of the museums. Afterwards, I actually was scheduled to go to Spain the day after, so I flew home and then went to Spain the next day. So I didn't have a chance to stay later.
Right.
But I
And
have
do you,
several classmates that went to Cartagena and Medellin, and they had amazing experiences as well.
nice. And do you have to know the language?
No, no. I mean, I do know Spanish, which was helpful, but again, everything is organized for you. So you're not going to be lost or alone. You don't have to be able to read the signs. You don't have to be able to know where you're going. You have classmates and also guides who are there to be able to tell you, like, try this restaurant or go over here. Also in Colombia, everyone is so incredibly friendly that it was really easy to be able to, I need to find a bank, and the
Right.
security guard would walk you a half block to the bank.
Great.
So yeah, it was pretty nice.
So, any advice that you'd give any future MALM students? Because I know that this is going to start to be some regular options for MALM
I am
students.
so excited that it's going to be a regular option for the MOM program, because I really felt like my peers missed out by not having the opportunity to go. It was unquestionably the best part of my Thunderbird experience, and I really loved being at Thunderbird. So to know that it brought that much value, I hope that everyone takes the opportunity to at least do one trip.
Right. Awesome. Well, I mean, those are all the questions I have. Do
Wonderful.
you have anything that you want to add?
Yeah, only that anyone can contact me if they'd like to. I'm on LinkedIn. It's Eileen Souza, or come find me if you have any other questions. I'm here to help.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'll provide your LinkedIn information in the email.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your time out of your schedule to come and do this. And hopefully, we'll keep in touch, and some of the other students can reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Gina.
Awesome. Thanks.